Love, heartbreak, rejection. It's excruciating like the coldest winter breeze, and we try to withhold the feeling. We tend to put jackets on to contain our inner soul from embarrassing and risking the chance of putting ourselves out there. We treat love as the burden, as if it's disease when it's the cure, as if it's the genocide of relationships, like it's the burglar stealing your purse, which only had a couple dollars in it. But really, I'm not the one to talk about love. I was only in love with the thought of being in love. I'm that type of guy that's ready to attain fairy tales that will fulfill me and my hunger without any trials. But if I saved up my nickels and waited to stand in line and was patient for my time, maybe I get a common meal instead of ordering from the dollar menu every time. Cause dealing with women of no quality got me stressed out, got me in search of something better when I'm told to stay patient, got me playing PlayStation more cause it's easy to restart that when I lose like my feelings. And there's this particular female, I'd rather not say her name, but every time I close my eyes, the only word that comes to mind is the socially looked down upon word for a female dog. And if nice guys finish last, then I've had a boulder chain in my ankles and a 5-inch puncture in my thighs. And she becomes more fake to me if her nose grew an inch every time that she lies. And as I remember my friend telling me to stay patient, as he inhales the smoke gradually into his lungs, he looks at me with so much faith and assurance that my time will come. He puts down a cigarette if he was abandoning all his uncertainties and exhales the smoke as if it was the ignition to the engine of my mind that made me produce the cliche, delirious, highly acclaimed fact that good things will come to those who wait. So I'll wait and wait and wait like an impatient, uneasy, overweight man standing in line to get a number 7 combo at the local fast food establishment. And I'll master the art of patience, as if it's possible that I've mastered everything else, and sincerely make my newfound wisdom the focal point and core in my first step on the quest of true love. When I was 16, my grandpa's health started to fail due to pancreatic cancer. My family and I would drive down from Virginia to Jacksonville, Florida almost every other week because he was capable of leaving this earth at any time. My grandpa was a tough guy, but with a kind heart. He concealed his good intentions, sometimes with yelling and swearing. But hey, he was a military guy, tough love. I'm writing this 3 years later after his passing, and I'm sitting in my room trying to put the words together and be completely honest with myself as I stare at the fan on my ceiling. I remember walking into his hospital room and seeing my grandpa sick for the first time. His pigment in his skin surrendered to the cancer, and he was death-like pale. His eyes wide open, looking around if he had seen a ghost. He is completely skin and bones, as if he hasn't eaten months. Gasping short of breath, he could barely speak, as if each breath was a knife piercing into his flesh. He calls me over to him if he knew I was trying to avoid being in his presence, for the reason being it hurt me too much to see him in the condition he was in. His lips still chapped due to the fact he uses a tube to get his food and water. He gasps while trembling, says clearly and slowly to me that I'm proud of you. And immediately seconds after, the shock from the meaningful words that I never would imagine would penetrate my eardrums, and the propounding value of the very worst finally hit me. The tears start to run down my cheeks, glide off my chin, and hit the hospital floor. And I leave his sight, because I didn't want him to see me like that. And a couple days later, he passes on June 28, 2009. And those end up being the last words he ever spoke to me. And to be honest, I never experienced death in my own personal life, so I didn't handle it well. My grandpa died in his home in the living room, connected, laying in the hospital bed. Whole family around his bedside to see him at his final moments and saying their final words of love for each other. As the pain in each of us leaks out of our unnoticeable wounds, the room is covered in tears and cries, and I'm in the corner full of hatred towards myself and bitter towards God. Trying to figure out, God, why wouldn't you answer my grandma's prayers and cries every night? Trying to figure out why I came in the house at the exact time he took his last breath. Trying to figure out why I just couldn't find the courage to talk to him more on his last days instead of being a coward to let him see me at my weakest. trying to figure out why the hell all these people come to my house every day now after his death and eat food and pray when I never seen these damn people with my grandma at the hospital at his bedside. Why? Why do I feel the need to isolate myself from everybody else? Why do I attempt to write how it feels in a notebook and attempt to ease my suffering? Why do I try to pen poems that I can never really express to you how I felt? And as I wipe the tears off my face, I see my loving grandma, so graceful, so pure-hearted, and I don't lie to her and tell her it will be okay. I just hug her and catch her tears with my shoulders. I squeeze her arms and hold tight, as if I let go I'd fall into a pit full of my shame and despair, as if the comfort of her being in my arms would make me feel a sense of security in a moment where I feel reckless and deranged. And as I let go of her, I realize to myself things will never be the same here in this house or within this family. I realize the grandchildren won't have them there anymore to open up gifts on Christmas morning. We won't have them there anymore to play Xbox and grill at the family gatherings. We won't have them there anymore to crack jokes on the latest fashion trend. But what I do realize is that we will always have his presence with us, and he'll always keep a watchful eye over my grandma and this family. Always. Rest in peace, Grandpa. Love, little Mikey. Statistics show us that so far there have been over 4,000 American soldiers killed and over 30,000 wounded during this continuous war. They say the few the proud. Well, that's only because the few are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to protect something that we sometimes love foolishly. Only a few are willing to bleed a welcome wounds to their flesh. Only a few are willing to fight barbarically for the land they love. Only a few are willing to be the backbone of valor. Only a few have the nerve to protect the purest thing they have. Only a few will stand up and defend the weak. Only a few will fight to preserve their country. Now imagine yourself trading places and you being the one in East Baghdad, waking up at the crack of dawn, putting on 70 pounds of gear, getting into a 4 to 5 man Humvee, not knowing what the day may lead ahead of you, and you look around at your comrades. Some hold tight to the handles of assault rifles, and some hold tight to the beads of rosaries, but all of them imagine what their last words might be. And what they see is surging and destruction of EFPs. Some soldiers can't sleep at night praying faithfully with cuts and bruises on their knees, while back home our veterans are trading medals to get college degrees, while razor sharp bullets are steaming past your skull, blood violently spilling on your boots, the hot scorching sun beating you further into your bunkers, and you look over at your comrade, sweat melting off his distressed face, his thoughts on another battlefield at home, wondering if his little 5-year-old daughter was left alone, and there's a battle going on as we speak on both sides of the turf. War vets are still wounded laying on the sides of our streets, hands wide open begging you civilians for something to eat, index finger still curled as if he was holding his rifle, but instead he's holding a cup begging for loose change. How could we have let this happen? How could we have let this slip away from our attention? We have war heroes around us that never get a mention. We put the Pledge of Allegiance away like it's in suspension. Put your right hand over your heart and you feel the beat of America's tension. We are the cast that supports the broken. We are the bandage that covers up the cuts. We are the tissues that wipe the tears. We are the voice waiting to be heard. We are one. We are America. Together we stand, divided we fall. We are the change that starts as little as a call. We are the missing piece to the lost cause. We are the game-winning shot going into the hoop. We are the ones that will support our troops. Even if it kills us, we will perfect our craft. We will be willing to fight for our country if there was another draft. We will protect our children. We will protect our weak. We will fight brutally but remain humble and meek. We are the change that we still desperately seek. And not only on the fronts of our battlefields, but on the corners of our churches, on the sides of our streets. We will be their arms stretched out, giving the needy something to eat. We will help up and support the fallen and the broken. We will answer the prayers of those waiting to be heard. We will be the shoulders for you to lean on. We will be the ears that hear you bend. They say a lawbreaker is considered scum. But if you choose to continue to abandon and ignore your comrades, then you've lost all honor. So get involved and support our troops.
Let's be honest, we all have our relationship issues and obstacles.
Like the inconvenience and distress of giving up my happiness for the split second of time to gratify her and her demands.
Like giving up my simple pleasures of this malicious world to show my allegiance to God.
Cause true love is when you're willing to sacrifice your own happiness for another. So why do we constantly remain unfaithful in our relationships and damage an honest heart?
So why do we constantly praise and focus on materialistic things that burn and turn into dust?
Cause I only talk to my girlfriend when it's convenient for me and works around my schedule.
I only talk to God when I'm in the lowest abyss with no way out.
But she's there for me when I'm abandoned and need ears to turn my way to hear me vent.
Even though he never hears one word from me when times are impeccable, his hand of righteousness guides me through my darkest of alleys.
So I strive to show her my feelings and corniness by actions and not just irrelevant words.
I choose to honor his word even though I will knowingly be hated by society and abandoned by my peers.
And it doesn't make sense why you constantly take me back after we argue and fight.
I try to find happiness in what the world has to offer me, surrounded by lust and empty bottles. But you see it through my flaws and still lend a helping hand.
You still put up with me even when I seem hopeless.
You still stick with me through my struggles and my pain. So I
will strive to show true love that breezes through your hair in the wind.
I will ordain your will into my life and not be afraid.
I will make you my blueprint on this astonishing thing that we call love.
I will praise your name and call upon you from the sky above.
I will surround your heart with all the love I can give.
I will do all that you ask of me on this earth and never quit.
A woman's heart should be so hidden in God that a man has to seek him to find her.
Teach us tonight, because we're searching for the sign. You are the reason, though our world has come undone. Don't hide away. You are the reason we are here. We need you with us, and to guide us again without fear. You are the reason. You are the reason.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
With everything I am, I always live my life for you. I wanna glorify myself, now I'm all confused. Do I need your help, and do I need a savior? I try to read your word, but I push it off to later. I never speak about you, but I want your help. I don't pray about your glory, I just pray for wealth. And I just pray for health, and I just pray for me. But I never really thought about it carefully. I tell myself I'm saved, I'm on the right path to make a decent living, but is it worth my past? I never thought you would forgive me for the things I do. And every time I did them, it just led me back to you. You feel so far away, I need you close to me. I can't remember the last time you ever spoke with me. I need you right now, I need a home. I need a reason for my life, cause I'm all alone.
Because we're searching for the sign. You are the reason, though our world has come undone. Don't hide away. You are the reason we are here. We need you with us, and to guide us again without fear. You are the reason. You are the reason. You are the reason.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
The reason you were beaten down was because of me. And every time I think about it, you're my company. But every time I say your name, they all make fun of me. Like, do I really need your presence right in front of me? I live my life selfish, no room for me and Jesus. Who cares if I succeeded? Who cares what I repeated? It's not about my life, it's not about my lines. It's all about my Savior, cause he was crucified. I had a lot of scars, I had a lot of pain. You took away my tears with your blessings, man. When I lost hope, you always guided me. Read my heart and brought out what's inside of me. I always be stressing me like you be testing me. I'll tell you I'll change, you like stop BSing me. Times I don't even know why I even do it. The ups and downs, dog, you already know I've been through it.
Because we're searching for the sign. You are the reason, though our world has come undone. Don't hide away. You are the reason we are here. We need you with us, and to guide us again without fear. You are the reason. You are the reason. You are the reason.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
Looking through the eyes of love, you know the world may seem a better place. The moment that you realize there's so much pain before your very eyes.
Hello? God. It's Mike. I know we haven't talked in a while, but things has been really busy for me lately. And I know you only hear from me when I want something, and you're probably tired of me making promises I never keep. I know you only hear from me when I'm at my lowest, but once everything is good, you never hear from me again. And honestly, God, I'm tired of lying to you. And if you stop messing with me right now, I would understand. But if you do, I guess I'm back out here on my own then. But I'm not here today for me. And I'm not asking for another chance. I'm not asking for another blessing. I'm just asking if you could help a friend. I'm asking you to show her your light and uplift her spirit. I'm asking you to show her your power so she could feel your presence. Cause I feel so useless when she tells me everything that she's going through. She tells me of her pain. She tells me of her sorrow. She tells me she doesn't have a reason to live for tomorrow. God, so just hear me out. You can do whatever you want with me. Just please set my friend free. She has a pure heart but needs answers. She cries out for help, but me as a man, I can do nothing. She needs you more now than ever. God, if you haven't run out of blessings yet, or if you have any left to spare, all I ask is you just send her one. Just one. That's all I ask. And I know I'm asking last minute, but you know yourself that I'm always late. I ask you to come into her life and take full control. This is the last favor I'll ever ask. Just the other night, she tells me she feels no one understands her and people just make jokes about her. But I told her your word is louder. Your grace is divine. Your love is more than mankind. So show her who you are. You said we could do all things through Christ, and I believe it. Just open up her heart so she can receive it. Give her goals in life, and I know you too will achieve it. God, I need your help right now, cause I can't help her out on my own. I can't. I just can't. Not on my own. Not on my own.
Every day it plays on my mind. Every day it plays on my mind.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
I'm doing this by myself, I don't have a team. I only have one person that supports me in my dream. Trying to be a poet so you know it, then I flow it. Greatness, try to show it, trying to advocate thoughts so you know it. Writing poems, open mics, doing shows every other day. Plus all the vocal tracks that I lay. Got me working hard, got me really stressing. Got me asking God not to run out all his blessings. Listen to my thoughts, see what I'm about. You don't follow your dreams and you are a sellout. I try to manage my time and fix the things I lack, but all I am now is an insomniac. Lately I'm on the go, always on this grind, always at work and I never have time. Thinking of my next move, always up late. Never have family time, man, never go on dates.
Every day it plays on my mind. Every day it plays on my mind. Every day it plays on my mind. Every day it plays on my mind.
This is a Cinema Beats production.
What the hell? Why are these gas prices so high for? These gas prices are way too high. I've been making life decisions at the local Chevron, trying to decide if I should put $5 in my gas tank or get a number 7 combo at the local Wendy's. These gas prices are higher than my SAT scores. These gas prices are so high, I don't even have enough money to drive to the gas station to get gas. These gas prices got me in a depression, a recession. Now I got indigestion. I went to the gas station, right? I said I want to put $5 on pump 5. This clerk gonna look at me and say, "What are you gonna do? Just drive to the next gas station down the corner?" I was like, "What the hell? These gas prices are higher than my last girlfriend's weight. These gas prices are so high I can't even go to Walmart no more. I gotta walk. I can't even remember the last time I seen a full tank of my car. The only time I see F is when I look at my math scores. And I know what some of y'all are thinking, but you're Asian. This is true, but these gas prices are high. I had to trade in my high school diploma, and when I get my college degree, I gotta give that to them also just to get a full tank of gas. These gas prices are high. People robbing banks, murdering innocent bystanders, and eating people's faces off just to get a quarter gallon of gas. Yo, my friend the other day, no lie, told me he had to fill up his Mustang before we go to the store. I go outside, this dude petting a horse with one hand, got a handful of grass in the other. I'm just saying, if I'm paying this much for gas, my car better start flying. My car better start transforming and evolving for these prices. Yo, these gas prices affected my love life. You see, I was really into this girl I met till I found out she lived at my 10-mile radius from my home. I was like, nah, man, nah, I'm good. Forget that. I found me a neighborhood chick. You know what I'm saying? Yo, these gas prices are high. Gangs can't do drive-bys no more. They just be at the house like, "Hey, yo, Killer Mike. I got a text from the West Side Rollers. Hey, yo, what they say? Bang, bang. Dot, dot, dot. West Side all day. Dot, dot, dot. Pow, pow." Look, I'm not saying boycott. Look, I'm not saying boycott, protest, or commit some vices. I'm just saying somebody need to tell somebody to change these gas prices. Real talk. Yo, when you was a kid, life was dope. The fun-filled days at your neighborhood playground, the imaginary spaceship rides in your family's 4-door car, your biggest fights over who gets the last piece of chocolate, always thinking that the opposite gender had a rare contagious disease called cooties, watching Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon every morning before school starts. If you was Asian, your best friend living next door and you eating up all your food, being able to punch your friend because you said punch buggy, no punch back, and not have to worry about getting knocked out. No responsibilities, no stress, no ignorance, just pure simplicity. Christmas mornings full of anticipation and Easter egg hunts and Halloween trick-or-treating that made you feel the world's sole purpose was for you to conquer it. Man, those were the days, which now seem like a senseless, absent, favorable flashback, because somewhere along the line, this aggravated world full of consequences, control, and bad credit decides to nurture you to become its reflection full of shackles and sin, forcing you to conform your innocent, pure childish ways and becoming the contagion of the once forgotten and oppressed by the standards of this brainwashed society. Those fun-filled days at your neighborhood playground become those stressful, enduring days at work. Those spaceship rides become something we call burn up my gas money. Those fights over chocolate become fights over who pays the bill this time. That disease you once called cooties is replaced with 3 letters, STD. Some people simply call this growing up. I call it losing your inner child. Look at a child, you see a pure heart and the likes of selfishness but graceful stride. Children seek and find God far before our pastors can tell us, and in this cutthroat environment, you must set the standard that people will follow. Don't be part of the simple-minded general population and return you will feast upon success. Life is a slab of meat and you just gotta cut out the fat. You must understand how your society functions and its everlasting pressures. Perceive your realities if you can see through the eyes of an adolescent, keep life at its simplest form. Even when things seem a little hectic, just take hold of your problems and doubts and twist it till it turns a doorknob of opportunity and reveals your smile. Troubles are only temporary. If you continue to feed your fears, your faith will only starve. Your most profound intimate experiences with God will be in your darkest of days, because when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. God is in control, not our wishful thinking, so be thankful for every single day. Have you ever taken notes of a recovering alcoholic? They can precisely tell you how many days they've been sober because they take a note on how many days of victory they had, because they're living one day at a time, because every single day counts. And most of all, people, all I'm really trying to say is never, please never, ever lose your inner child. Dear babysitter, they say forgive and forget. Well, trust me, it was hard enough already to forgive. So I'm having major difficulties forgetting. Cause every time I go to my cul-de-sac in Carla Court, I get a bittersweet flashback when I look over 2 houses down and see a place that I absolutely hated at such a young age. But they tell me to forget? How can I forget the times my innocent 5-year-old head was up against the wall for 8 hours a day taking in your secondhand smoke? And this is something that you call time out. But I was lucky if I ever had time in. I would sit in the corner every day like it was my 9 to 5, bored to the point I used my hands as action figures, and I would wonder to myself why it was me that had such misfortune. Cause when I look over to the other room about 5 feet away, I see my cousins taunting me as they play with Legos and watch Cartoon Network, while I was the outcast, I was the black crow, I was the frowned upon child that sat in a chair tied up with rope squeezing my arms tight, with tape on my mouth. I remember tasting my salty tears sticking to me as they taunted and laughed at me. How can I forget being thrown into a pitch dark closet for hours if I was a bat? While I was trapped helplessly in that closet, you taught me so many things I would never would have learned. You taught me how to feel joy when someone passed. You taught me how to despise a relative of my own blood. You taught me how to keep my mouth shut and to never snitch. But you also gave me an opportunity at such a young age to learn the meaning of how to forgive. But I can still never forget. Never. I can't forget. Just can't forget. I wake up fatigued at daybreak, bags under my eyes, soreness in my thighs, blisters on my calloused hands, roll up at my bed, throw on a bright orange shirt that makes me look like a walking traffic cone, and of course, I got the matching Vans. I'm always matching even at work. I look in the mirror, mumble something of a complaint, skip breakfast for a 985th time cause rare if I ever partake in it. I open up my front door, sunshine off my polarized stunner shades, and I walk to my car leisurely and fire it up, and as always, yes, it's on E. I wish I can get some gas like a free sample at the mall that's handed to me for free. When I'm at work, I have no brakes, like a busted up, overused, junk forgotten car, and at times I gotta pee. But I hold it until I feel like my bladder will convulse and overrun onto the unsanitary mall floors. While I'm standing passing out heavenly free samples of mango chicken, I observe and witness the different walks of life, personalities, and the people that the world is composed of. And from the outside, it looks like I'm just passing out chicken. But deep within my deranged mind, I'm gaining understanding and some light. So I finally realize and come to the conclusion while my manager catches an attitude that makes me want to throw down and assault him, that even a job so small as mine can affect maybe, just maybe, one person's day, then it's worth it to put myself out there and continue to perform uncoordinated dances and yell in the attempt to be singing reckless songs and chants, that I'm working this minimum wage paying job to put a smile on the world that's down. So I change my state of mind, raise my motives up, passing out samples for those who are rude and put their toothpick back on the tray, which by the way is disgusting. For those who came into the mall mad, as they leave I tell them to have a nice day. For those at the perfume kiosk who can't even make one sell. For those who found the light in the most darkest of hell. For those who are bullied and joked. For those who can't get no attention from a female, not even a Facebook poke. For those who are insecure and hate who they are. For the hopeless people depressed drinking at the bar. For those who can't sleep at night. For those who feel like they can't do nothing right. For those walking through the mall looking for a job because they've been unemployed. For those who can't even remember the last family gathering they enjoyed. For those who beep at me and flip me off because I drive so slow. For those who wake up earlier than the crow. So I keep passing for bliss, passing for someone I never met before in the mall to gain cheerfulness, passing like how teachers sometimes pass students because they know that the material may be way over their head, how the government doesn't pass bills that benefit us till we're dead, how a basketball player passes the ball to his teammate confident he'll make the open shot. So I lace up my shoes and the mall is finally closing. I tell myself, even as little as a job may seem, if I put a smile on one person's face, then I found love in a hopeless place. Hey yo, one of my homies asked me the other day what my ideal dream girl would be. So I thought long and hard for 40 days and 40 nights. And you see, I came to the conclusion that I want a girl that look like a mix between J-Lo and Beyonce in the face. I want that girl that got them moisturized elbows and a lip gloss stay poppin'. I want that girl that looks good in every hair color like Nicki Minaj. I want a girl that appreciates the arts of the dollar menu and be happy on special occasions. I take her to the local Hot Wok and get her that lunch special, you know what I'm saying? I want a girl that could be one of the homies and just kick it and play some Call of Duty. And of course all us men want that girl with that eye grabbing away from 2 blocks away booty. I want the girl that makes me have to Google the definition of love. I want a girl with some pearly white teeth so that every time she smiles it reflects the sun's glorious rays on me from above. For real though? For real? I want a girl that can read. And I'm not talking about a girl that can read how I'm feeling. I'm talking about a girl that can read the check so she knows what she gotta pay, you know what I'm saying? I need a chick that doesn't constantly torture me with nagging about if she look good in the color of purple and if maroon makes her look fat. I need a chick that doesn't get jealous just because another female wrote on my wall and like my latest profile pic. I need a woman that's secure with who they are and is perfectly happy with the way God made them. A woman that knows exactly what she wants out of life and a woman I can share my vision with. A woman that fears God and will serve the Lord till her last breath. I need a woman that can be loving, independent, and loud. Hey, who knows? Maybe my dream girl's in this crowd.
Dream girl, where are you at? Dream girl, where are you at?
Growing up, I was always that irregular Asian kid that hung out with all the blacks. My friends and I would sit in the front yard during the summers to kick raps. I was that kid that defended himself and would never back down, never run. I was that kid behind closed doors that was so silly and always had fun. I was that kid while you were walking around malls, I was writing in my journals to free my mind. I was that kid that was searching for God but looked at all the wrong places to find. I was that kid that centralized athletics and only shut my eyes towards studies. I was that kid that chose my comrades wisely and only had a few buddies. I was that kid that was uneasy what people perceived and was so shy. I was that kid that didn't even know where he would go if he were to die. I was that kid given directions like from a map but still was so lost. I was that kid that pulled the scab wounds from his sins to nail Jesus to his cross. And today I could say satisfied I am no longer that kid. A kid that walked the streets alone. A kid that wouldn't even bother to check his phone. A kid full of pride and was so proud. It's funny I had so much to say back then, but I never had the courage to say it out loud. But now as a man, yeah I said it, a man, I thrive on my new insight. I cascade in my uncontaminated perspective. I flaunt in my high spirits, I bluster in my understanding. And thank God for opening my eyes, letting me live my life to the fullest with every single new person I meet. And initiating my confidence so when I'm talking to a female, I no longer look at my feet. Believe in my flyness and forget that shine. Those are words to live by. Cause if you're not even on your own team, then it's hard to get by. Yeah. It's a little poetry I wrote about real life situations, real life people. So just check it out. Yeah. Her rigid hands that root her hair like a weed being extracted from the earth's surface. Frustration reflects from her symmetrical pupils. Frustration eats at her heart like a parasite. Frustration at the vessels that you once called a friend. Frustration you see it within you was once so full of laughter and joy, but the gravity of the word you once loved came down and destroyed. You're familiar and hear the ungodly, unholy, unkind, gruesome, appalling Bob accent, judgmental tongues. They cast you away and looked down on you because you had a son. Your circle of trust, your circle of love that once surrounded you, it becomes colorless, tarnished, washed out. The crowd gossips about you like they understand what you're about. So you stay locked up in your unpleasant room, pillows soaked from tears, mirrors shattered from the pain inside yourself. People more concerned about the latest gossip on you rather than your health. You cried every night to run down your torment. Your baby daddy split and he's pushing you to abort it. You have a battle inside that eats at your conscience. You ponder, will God love me, then change your state of mind like, oh, that's nonsense. But you're an insomniac from the cries you hear at night, at war with yourself trying to do what's right, but no one sees you achieving and exceeding expectation in your goals. They just put on their glasses of ignorance when your heart burns for approval and you're on your last coal. And your head is down in shame, but you still must throw up what little pride and honor to look up and seek your Father God. And in anger, you curse him and question him in your misery and facade. Waiting for a blessing is killing you like cancer. You look at the calendar hoping one day that your prayer would get answered. Then it hits you like a right hook from Manny Pacquiao. Not realizing all the blessings to be thankful for. You have a gift from God and a supportive family. A father that works hard to provide, coming home every night, tired and exhausted, sacrificing everything no matter what the cost is. A mother who bears the same understanding, using her windshield wiper to clean off her window pane. A loving blood sister who bears the same maiden name. A beautiful son that you gave birth to, sent from God directly to your womb. A proud grandfather that's smiling in his tomb. So smile, young girl, and be proud and forget those who are teasing. Just thank God and trust him, because everything has a greater purpose and happens for a reason.
I will do this for all my life, until the day I die. I will do this for all my life, until the day I die.
Being reckless.
I'm 6 feet down in my grave. I will never let my fear make me a slave. Already done that once before, way too many times. I spit my heart, mind, soul in all my rhymes. I stay true to myself till the death. You'll hear my passion for life in my last breath. Looking at my past, living in my present, hoping in my future it will all represent me. How will they remember me? And how many secrets to this grave will I take with me? My lost ones, I always keep you in my memory. Gain the courage to go and set yourself free. Be who you are, don't hold yourself back. The qualities of yourself, that's what you lack. I do this from everybody from A to Z, especially for my grandma and my whole family tree.
Said that he's not dead yet. Oversleeping, creeping, cheating, chilling with the homies. Alone but not lonely. Stories for a lifetime. Writing rhymes, stressing all the time. Living blind to the fact that all I got is me and my son. This burden heavy weighs about a ton. I got nothing like the levy broke. Too big to tow. On another note, I'm tired of feeling broke though. Make me wanna smoke, yo. Dealing with the shits of my past. 16 with hip hop visions. Living too fast. Man, it's gonna last. Opportunity passing up. Money stashing up. Girls gassing up. Prince grown. Waiting for the throne. Living in my zone. Never going wrong. Like life's crazy, baby. Can't let it faze me. Please don't touch, don't play me. Yes, not maybe. chillin', pushing daisies up, just be my lady.